Tony Khan was bragging about Collision getting its best rating in over 8 months. But who was responsible for that? Well, we're going to find out right here, right now, with the quarter-by-quarter hour breakdown ratings. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And I honestly do not know what has happened with wrestling over like the past 4 days, but all the shows seem to be getting a higher rating than usual, and there's nothing to really explain it because the shows haven't been good. AEW Collision was taped. It's just been a bunch of boring shows, yet we've actually seen an increase in both SmackDown, Collision, Rampage, and spoiler alert, Monday Night Raw from this week has also seen an increase in the rating. So I can't explain it. Maybe there's less competition. They're always talking about competition. Maybe basketball, baseball, hockey. Maybe it's not been happening much over the past 4 days, but for some reason, the ratings are slightly up and there's no good wrestling to show for it.
Absolutely. In the UK, sport is coming to an end at this time of year, but I'm not sure how America works. I'm pretty sure America's sport still continues.
Yeah, America's weird. It's like you've got at least one sport throughout the year going on.
Aye, so I don't understand why there's a ratings increase. I mean, it must just be...
Let's just keep it real. This show was full of jobbers. You'd people like Jack Cartwheel and Boulder wrestling. And it's not like they were taking on big stars. I mean, Boulder lost to Brian Keefe. Jack Cartwheel lost to Nick Wayne.
Listen to those names, man.
I mean, if it was John Wayne, you'd be like, alright, he beat the Indians, but I mean...
The Duke John Wayne.
Who the fuck's Nick Wayne ever beat apart from Jack Cartwheel?
Jack Cartwhell, man.
I think Tony Khan was doing cartwheels when he seen this rating.
Probably
Was with
sad little man.
A 400... No, what is that? A 523,000, so... I mean, it's a solid rating. No doubt about it. Anyway, over $500,000. It's not that great, but for Collision standards, it's pretty damn good. So let's get into it. Quarter one. 8 o'clock to 8:15, Shane Taylor versus Will Ospreay starts with 588,000 views. That is an unusually large lead-in for Collision. They don't normally do that. Even when Adam Copeland or Bryan Danielson, who tend to be the biggest draws in AEW, even when they're leading into the beginning of the show, they tend not to get 580. This is almost 600,000. So I've got to assume there was something half decent on before Collision.
On a Saturday night, not too sure what it would have been, but yeah, I'm going to tend to agree. There's a trend here, and they normally don't kick off with this.
No, they don't. So we've never seen Shane Taylor draw, and we've seen Will Ospreay lose viewers quite a lot. So I'm just not really convinced that
this match isn't a draw.
No,
like,
it's
you can
not.
pretend that Will Ospreay is a fucking Shawn Michaels 2.0. Oh, he puts a 5-star match on every week. But who's Shane Taylor? I couldn't point to him in a lineup.
He's black.
He's black.
I know that much.
Aye.
Lineups anyway. Quarter two, we got 8:15 to 8:30. Ospreay, Undisputed Kingdom, live angle. Bryan Danielson, FTR backstage. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli promo. Chris Jericho backstage promo. Then the beginning of Johnny TV versus Hook. This went up 1% to 596,000. So it's very rare we see an increase in Collision or Dynamite, apart from when it's either Bryan Danielson or Adam Copeland. What I would say is Bryan Danielson was involved in this quarter, and quite a lot of the top stars were with John Moxley involved here as well. So, I mean, there's quite a lot of the big names in AEW were in this quarter, all packed in,
Chris
like
Jericho
sardines.
Getting the highest 18 to 49 of the show. We had 227. There you go. Work that one out.
Well, actually, the opening quarter was higher.
Oh, I haven't clocked that. Chris Jericho's going to cry in his flabby man tits about it.
Alright, so there you go. Quarter two, we get a slight 1% increase. Quarter three, 8:30 to 8:45, the finish of Johnny TV versus Hook. And then the beginning of Rocky Romero versus Shibata. And this only lost 3%. 577,000 views. Right, they uploaded the YouTube clips and Rocky Romero versus Shibata got less than 40,000 views. I cannot explain why this quarter has done 577,000, but there must be something happening in the first hour of this show for this rate to be so high. It's almost like there was something decent on before Collision started, and at 8 o'clock, people had to evacuate their homes and they weren't allowed to switch off the TV.
Or Tony Cans went round every house that's viewing this and took the batteries at the remote.
You can't tell me that only 3% tuned out for Rocky Romero versus Shibita.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The fact it's 40,000 views is diabolical.
Yeah, so there's something strange going on here. We go into quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 PM. Jack Jameson ramp promo. Brian Keefe versus Boulder. Backstage promo with Pac. Bullet Club Gold and Pac on the ramp angle. And the Patriarchy backstage angle. And then the beginning of Orange Cassidy versus Isaiah Cassidy. This lost 12% down to 510,000 views. This is more like it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is what the last segment should have got. No doubt about it.
Probably more.
So yeah, now we're beginning to see the true loss here. Going into quarter 5, 9 o'clock to 9:15. Orange Cassidy versus Isaiah Cassidy continues. We get a post match with Trent Beretta. This lost another 5%, but it lost 12% in the demo. The key demo here lost 12%. So we talk about how important the key demo is for AEW. Quarter 4, it lost 12%. Quarter 5, it lost 12%. That's big losses there. So Jericho wouldn't be too happy with these key demo. 18 to 49 losses.
The demo flop.
Quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30. Serena Deeb versus Anna Jay with Tony Storm there. And then we get Swerve Strickland, Christian Cage video after. Again, another 6% loss, now down to 455,000 views with another 5% loss in the key demo. Moving to quarter 7, you get Nick Wayne versus Jack Cartwheel, nobody wanted to see. And then Danielson and FTR versus Lance Archer and the Righteous. And then we get a big increase, 9% increase in the viewership and a 12% increase in the demo. So 494,000 views, and the demo went up to 184,000 views. Not surprised here. Bryan Danielson is like one of the few guys that people actually want to tune in and see on AEW. Anytime he's on screen, the numbers do go up. So
we'll defend him. But the problem is, this is just people tuning back for like the last 20 minutes after the disaster that is Jack Cartwheel and Boulder and all that shite.
Aye, so Danielson there getting the rating up by 9%. Big increase. And then quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 PM. It was the finish of the tag team match. Danielson and FTR taking on Archer and the Righteous. Lost 3% in the viewership, but gained another 8% in the key demo. So finished the viewership with 481,000. Key demo finished with 198,000. And that was your Collision ratings. The show finished, like I said, 523,000. Key demo finished with 200,000 on the button. Obviously, Danielson got the big increase. Hardly surprising there. But for me, I'm just shocked that AEW Collision started nearly at 600,000. And it took until the fourth quarter to actually have start losing fans big time. I'm not sure why it stayed consistent for the first three. Especially that third quarter. Rocky Romero Shibita should have absolutely annihilated.
I think homes were evacuated. That's my belief.
I reckon so, man. Aliens came down or something and abducted everyone's TVs and they couldn't change the channel because there's no logical reason as to why Shibita versus Romero did not kill this fucking rating more than it did. Only lost 3%. It should have lost at least like 13%.
Yeah. 30%. 100%.
Fucking TV should have exploded. Anyway, that's it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Bit of a strange rating there. Bit of an increase, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Till next time. Peace.